Hey guys, Brian and Trevor, are you there with us?
We are. Here we are.
Oh,
There you
Hey,
gentlemen, how are you doing today?
doing good. Doing great. How about you?
It's a pretty wet day right now in Washington, but I did manage to stay alive this morning before it started raining, so I just got a little bit wet, but it looks like
That's good. Missed that Washington rain though.
good stuff.
It's refreshing.
Well, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to come and meet with us today and join us on our telethon. You are both special in PBD's eyes. You spent a lot of time at the studio over the years. Your parents have both been very heavily involved, and certainly we have very fond memories of you and our interactions with you, which actually start long before you ever set foot into the dance studio. And so maybe we'll start there. Tell us how you came to know about PBD and what got you in the door.
You want to take this one?
Sure. So yeah, I think we went to like 2 Pacific concerts before we actually like started dancing, and it was after the second one that we realized that you guys were a part of that. So I think you came up to our mom or something like that, and we're like, "We want your boys, get them into the dance." Yeah, and then after that, we just we tried out for a summer dance camp. My mom was like, if this isn't for you, you don't. Oh my gosh.
So
It's so great having your dad being the one that's putting these pictures.
Oh yeah,
We've never seen these
he can show us
either.
all these.
Oh
photos.
no.
So yeah, we did the dance camp, and my mom was like, "If you guys don't like it, you don't have to do it." But we came right back after the first day. We're like, "We love it. Let's keep doing this." Oh my gosh, we're so little.
Yeah, that's Ashley Costa with you guys from Dancing with the Stars. She came and visited our
Wow.
studio.
Dang,
That was like forever ago too.
I like how Ryan's like looks all nice with the shirt tucked in, and I'm just like letting it free.
We all have individual style. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So I will. We worked for a while on your parents, but I now looking back, your mother has often come to me, and she'll take my arm, as you know she does, and she goes, "Brent, thank you so much. You saved me." And from what? She says, "Well, I would have been drenched and cold and frozen sitting at soccer games in Washington. And that was not going to work out." She goes, "Thank you so much for helping my boys come and find dance, because it's much better in a dance studio than on the side of a soccer field." So that was Bonilla's thought to me. Well, we are thrilled that you chose ballroom dance, and it's particularly I think it's really amazing that you came together, that both of you chose to sink your hearts into it for a pretty significant period of time. And then you've gone on to do some other dancing and other things. Can you talk about where life has taken you after PBD?
Yeah. After PBD, we graduated and joined the UVU ballroom tour team, where we continued our passion for dance. And
so what is UVU for those that aren't familiar?
oh, you're right. Utah Valley University. It's a college, one of the rivaling colleges in the Orem Provo area, with another monster college nearby. Oh yeah,
pictures from that. That's wonderful.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, we came down to UVU to pursue education here on campus, while also being able to pursue our passions in dance. I'm currently now studying the acting track here at UVU. Trevor is pursuing psychology, and we've just loved having the opportunity to both get an amazing education while also being able to do what we love here at UVU with some amazing dancers and coaches. Oh, there's that.
There's the theater. Love Newsies.
That's actually a photo from a summer project I did with community theater this past summer in the production of Newsies, which was an awesome experience to be a part of. But dance was actually one of the skills that I was required to do, as of course it's a dance heavy show. I'm very grateful that I was able to take a lot of the skills and teachings that PBD taught me into that. So,
and some other styles. Like for that, he had to learn some tap dance. So that was a lot of fun too. Yep, that's our standard medley piece right now. Hold up my hand. I'm supposed to be holding a wand, but there's no props, so I just stick my hand in the air.
Nice. Pantomime, it works.
It's magical.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
Trevor, you've gone on to compete quite a bit in ballroom since. And one of Katie and I really enjoy watching you and your partner compete at nationals every year when we get to come down. Tell us a little bit about the competition world after PBD and where you are now and what you're doing.
So yeah, we're still competing open, but from Pacific, I used to do just like standard and Latin, but now with my girlfriend and partner Brianna, we do smooth and standard, which wasn't really something that I knew about smooth growing up in Pacific, but now it's like such a big deal. And I love it.
That is a good photo. Dang. Why isn't that like your cover photo on Facebook? It's so good.
It should be. So, yeah. Been training here with Dance Magic, so with Michael Johnson. I love that.
Yeah, watching you guys dance on the floor, we've gotten to see you at a few competitions. You just stand out on the dance floor. You're so debonair and smooth and controlled and dynamic at the same time. It's been really fun to watch you guys dance and progress as you continue competing. So that's been fun.
Thank you.
So I think that we couldn't go through the whole interview without reminiscing about some of the fun times that we had together.
Oh, of course.
The times. And so one of the ones that come to mind for me was a rather traumatic experience. If I recall correctly, it may have been the morning of concert or just the
winter
day before.
concert. I think your dad may have a photo of it.
So we're looking for that photo now, Meg. So this is Ryan.
Oh gosh!
Something to my ankle. As you look carefully, you'll see that's not quite normal. And so obviously, tell us, Ryan, from your perspective, what this experience taught you. Maybe what you experienced here.
So so we did the Friday. I believe it was Friday night concert. We already did it. It was their Christmas concert. The next morning, this is like right before we're about to come in to do finale run-throughs and costume check for the matinee show. I got done early and I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna jump on this this neat trampoline that happens to be in this backyard that I'm hanging out in. And that was the worst decision I could have ever made. And not 2 minutes after getting on, I sprained my ankle on it, and I had to spend the rest of that weekend watching the team but like frantically throw together, replacing me because I was stupid enough to do something stupid.
So of course we go to work as coaches and we have to plug the holes. Now it so turns out that you happen to have a twin brother on the team. Who,
a natural understudy.
So I'm curious, Trevor, from your perspective, if you remember that experience, the opportunities to step up and take on some of those challenges at the moment's notice, like just right then. What was that? I
remember being a little, just a little upset at Ryan, but it was, I mean, now looking back, it's fine, but in the moment I was a little stressed, but we made it work, right?
It was amazing too, how quickly it was. Like, it was absolutely incredible. I think you had to step in for the Edelweiss solo as well. Yeah, having to learn that the day of was insanely impressive. That was just incredible.
Yeah, I will tell you that going forward from that point, we now have a policy on the youth premier team that everyone learns everything, and this is one.
We also outlaw trampolines.
No trampolines.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good rule.
Yeah. Okay, I also wanted to talk about one other memory that I have really strongly, and it involves both of you guys. And that was the choreography and presentation of the piece She Used to Be Mine, which has become, over the years, Brent and I have choreographed bazillions of pieces now, and that's one that really stands out to me. Brent and I started that for auditions. And so he and I started the choreography, and then I finished the choreography with Ryan. And that was one of the first times I had ever ventured out into choreographing with a student. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think the choreography that we came up with was incredibly impactful for audience members. And then it became even more meaningful because we cast you guys both kind of in the lead roles in this piece. And so it was just amazing to watch you guys step up into the spotlight in this very dramatic and emotional piece and be highlighted and just pull it off with flying colors.
Yeah, and this is Trevor, obviously, with Emily Miles, who was the original cast person in the lead female role of that piece. And this is a photo shoot, I think, if I recall correctly. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a very powerful piece. And it's still, so last year I had a really special experience. My sisters all came to the concert for the first time. I have 6 sisters. And I invited them up because we did a special piece for my mom, who passed away a couple of years ago. And they had a lot to say about a lot of the pieces. And afterwards, the one that got the most comments from my sisters was She Used to Be Mine, about how much they personally connected with it, and some of the struggles that it talks about, and overcoming some of the challenges and internally, you know, and they were just really touched by it. So still a very powerful piece. And choreographed by some of you, and of course performed by you guys and others, but just a really special memory there.
Yeah, so I just want to say thank you guys for being part of that process and giving us that piece, which still to this day on our team, as it has kind of progressed through the years, a couple years of the life of a routine, it has always been one that was highly sought after and battled for to be in that piece. It was definitely a dancer's favorite also.
So there are other memories, things like penguins come to mind.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
You guys remember any of your penguin handshake thing that you guys
Not
did?
at all. Nope.
I
remember at one point we got like piggybacks on each other,
Yeah.
and we did like a high five not do-si-do.
Yeah, so, and I think it was James, and was it Javon with the four, and Nathan?
Yeah.
And then I think Nathan Cook as well.
Yeah, initially I believe we drafted a version with just Nathan, James, Trevor, and I, and then we tagged Javon on after Nationals, and then we showcased it at the fall concert.
So great.
We also did a lot of activities. You might remember a certain activity, something to do with Nerf guns, and a certain Nerf war that ensued thereafter. We might have a photo.
You remember that?
Yes.
That was so much fun.
Gosh.
Yes, I still remember with my kids. So my son Blake at the time was very much Nerf, and the whole studio was in a giant Nerf war. And
it went on for weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And Ryan and Riker, another student who's the one with the black and white paint there, were on the same team, I believe, and they were tasked at trying to get my son out. So I pull up into my driveway, and they're like hidden around my house, and I noticed that somebody's like hiding in the woods like they're in military special forces or something, and they follow me to try to get Blake out to his school where I pick him up, and this whole war ensues where they're trying to shoot each other on school grounds with Nerf guns. It was insane. It was so fun.
Yeah. I mean, as you can tell from all the face paint and everything, it's hardcore, you know?
So I think what's even more, I'm sorry, go on.
No, I was going to ask you, what are some of your most memorable experiences with PBD that you cherish still to this day?
Big question.
Well,
there's a lot, you know?
Gosh, because we were part of PBD since we were about 10, and we went from 10 on all the way through. So we have like 8
So tell
years.
us what teams you were on. That'll be interesting.
What teams?
Yeah. So we first started. We started on the junior. Oh gosh.
Yeah, junior backup.
Junior backup. We were on that for 2 years, and then after we moved up to JP together, and that's where we were with. So our first year with junior backup was with Cam. We moved up to JP with Christine France, and stayed on that for 3 years to And then our second year, we were in the first place routine PBD took at BYU Nationals, standard, which was Alice, our standard medley. And that was a crazy time to be a part of, especially on JP. That was like our second year. We weren't really expecting anything, but yeah, it happened.
And then in youth, we were with John Graham, but then like that switched with you guys. And then that's when we won with Rain of Fire as well. And that's probably my favorite experience. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you can see like we're all like beaming. It was so much fun. There's nothing quite like the feeling when you're out on the floor and there's like all these people that are like so passionate about what they do and you're all just doing it. You know, it's like electric. So that's what I like.
I think that's just thinking about it.
Yeah,
right
that's my favorite part about, you know, Pacific.
Yeah, do you guys remember what you were thinking in that moment for Rain of Fire when I remember standing there on the edge of the floor with you guys, and I think that year was such a whirlwind. I don't think it really crossed any of our minds that it would end the way it did. And so do you guys remember what you were feeling in that moment?
So many things.
Oh gosh.
But like at first it was like totally like disbelief. Like there was no way that happened, you know?
Yeah.
We were kind of at the shock of winning first place, yes, but then also to be this on the second routine to win first at PBD, but also to be part of both first place routines was just mind blowing. Like we could not believe that we were so fortunate to be with such amazing dancers and coaches and routines to be able to be a part of that. And that was just mind blowing, one of the mind blowing moments for me, and how incredibly talented all of our dancers were, teammates, I should say, and the coaches that we worked with. It was just an incredible experience to be a part of.
Yeah. So we just got about a minute left here, gentlemen. What, if you had any words of wisdom to up and coming PBD students, what would you say to them? Maybe we'll start with Trevor.
I actually had to write a paper about that just this week, you know, inspiring words. And what I basically said in the paper was, you learn so much by giving your all. You know, if you're not afraid to like go for the things that interest you and stuff, you learn so much and develop so much as a person. And that's something that about Ryan that really inspires me, is that with his acting, you know, he just went for it. You know, there was no fear behind it. So like, because of that, he's grown so much. So I guess just give it your all. Wait, what is that saying? Everything all at once, all the time?
Yeah, everything all at once, all the time.
Yeah, there we go.
Every time, yes. You've heard that a few times, I'm sure.
Our brain.
I have, yeah.
What about you?
I would just kind of piggyback off of that with just don't be afraid to fail. I've realized over the course of my experiences at PBD, there was this overwhelming passion and desire for dance that we all had, and that just drove me into progressing more throughout my dance career more and more. That pushed me to work harder in my individual competition. That passion ignited the unsteady routine that Javon and I choreographed. And I think the kind of like that passion overwhelmed the fear of failure, of people saying no. And we knew no matter what, even when like making it or pushing ourselves to learn more dances or learn different styles and stuff like that, and being able to mess up and look awful and look weird in front of other people and get feedback from that was an incredible, an amazing opportunity that I'm so grateful I was able to receive at PBD. And I feel like that really laid the groundwork for my dance experience at UVU as well, being able to be doing everything 100%, everything all at the time, all at once, with no fear of failure and accepting it. So.
Perfect. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today, sharing your experiences. We are just thrilled to be able to have you as a part of our story and as a part of the PBD legacy. And we are so proud of you and so excited every time we get to see you. And thank you for sharing these things today with us and being part of the telethon.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. It's good seeing your faces. Bye-bye.